I want to talk about the trap that nobody talks about in personal growth, spiritual growth, the healing world. It is a trap. It can be an absolute trap. And let me just kind of share with you a little bit more about what I'm talking about. So, if you feel like you've been down this journey and you've been on this journey for a while where you are constantly trying to find that next best thing, where you may get some relief from some program or some thing that you do, whether it be meditation or law of attraction or manifestation or law of assumption, right? You've done all these things and you may get some relief, you may get some benefit, you maybe some money shows up, but then your life kind of just goes right back to where it was, where you just don't feel 100% satisfied with who you are or what you have going on. And so it's this constant cycle of chasing, chasing, chasing. So I've spent decades doing that. And it started at a very, very young age with food, where I was just trying to find the right diet, the right thing that felt good for me. And then it just turned into this constant chasing of something, of looking better, of feeling better. And then I became a runner, and then running wasn't good enough, so I had to do these bigger events and all these things. And don't get me wrong, all of it was a blast and so much fun, and I just gave up running not that long ago, so it's really, I got a ton of enjoyment out of it. So I'm not trying to mock anything that you may have done, but if you feel like you're chasing your tail, where you're not really fully there and experiencing who you truly are, then I want to invite you into a different conversation, maybe a unique conversation, and one where you start to peel back the layers of the conditioning that's been happening in your world. And for me, my the conditioning has been work really hard, get the good grades, get the good job, get the husband, get the baby, get the, all these things. And I kind of did all the right things and really got great jobs and promotions and made more money and strived harder, but it wasn't necessarily leading me to more happiness. So I would create then rituals and try to create new habits of this and that. And again, I would get tons of relief. I spent 20 years in Buddhism also. So deep meditation, chanting, traveling to Japan to go to these, meet high priests and do all these amazing be with enlightened beings and just see if I could get an ounce of their enlightenment. And again, all of that was amazing. But it never really filled me with this satisfaction of I'm happy just the way things were. And I also pushed away emotions that were bad, anger, fear, disappointment, any of that thing that felt like it was kind of on the bad side of the equation, because that's just what I knew. It just we weren't depressed people. And so when I went through a depression in my early 20s, I was like beating myself up because I couldn't quite be like everyone else. Like I had this thing, this mental problem, like kind of a breakdown. And it actually was the beginning of enlightenment, me seeing the illusion in the world and not fully having the grounding inside my body to be able to handle it. Seeing that there is an illusory world that takes place. I now call it the holographic universe, or the hologram, right? It's my own hologram. Now I realize I'm creating the hologram with my expanded self, of course. And then back then, it was just scary. It was just scary. Like I was tapping into something that I didn't quite understand and I couldn't put my finger on it or have, again, that spiritual grounding to be able to really understand it. And so, not too many years ago, I really was able to understand a deeper appreciation for feelings and emotions and allow those things to sink in. And so I have a kind of a version of the shadow work. I hated calling it shadow work because I felt like every time I would get into this shadow work, what would happen was I would just get frustrated and more upset because I'm going deep into some past stuff, but there was no grounding on how to like understand that inside my body. It was just I'm just like left with all these shitty feelings. And so I finally came across this opportunity to just be with those feelings without judgment and without criticism and without a label that it was bad or wrong. And now as feelings come up in me, I don't necessarily have a label to it. Like just about an hour ago, I discovered that there was this incredible article written about our nonprofit, Wild Hooves Open Hearts. We provide sanctuary to horses, wild horses. And I just burst into tears. How that would have looked for me 10 years ago was like, oh no, that's sadness. Get rid of that. Like, just suck it up. Don't, no, no, wipe the tears. But I just allowed myself to cry and let it out. And it felt so good just to be free inside of this emotion that was taking place. And it was so incredible. And there was no label. I mean, it felt more like appreciation because it was so deeply connected to my team and the resources that we have and the people that have helped us and the horses that we're helping. Oh my God, I was just captivated by this deep appreciation. And it was such a major transformation because that never would have existed before. And now seeing this, I want to be able to share this with other people. My journey is my journey, but for people to see if they can take this in for themselves through their own experiences. And I've created some new cool programs. Not really programs, but just again opportunities, experiments, experiences that the people that are massively stressed out or just feel like they've done all the things and are not quite to the point where they want to be, allowing them to really go into these experiences and experiment with themselves. You have to do the work. The work to me now it's just a bunch of fun, even when it feels kind of awkward. But you have to be willing to take those steps. And if any of this sounds interesting to you or intriguing to you, follow along my page, like this page, comment me. I did write a free ebook with is available in my links, and that free ebook starts tapping into how to tune into your intuition. You can call intuition anything you want. It's just really the inner voice, the inner knowing, the God within, the divinity within, the universe, however you want to refer to it. Intuition just is a simple word that I like to use because everybody kind of understands like that gut visceral feeling that happens when you get insight to something, and intuition is really like an insight within. So if any of this sounds interesting, do follow along. Grab my free ebook. There is also access to a free community that is building and growing. And we want to connect with people who are on this journey, want to expand. You're in the game, right? You're in the game of life. Here you are in your beautiful, amazing body. And there's this opportunity to expand and grow, but not from the perspective of that you're broken. And that's the biggest takeaway I want to leave you with in this video is that you are not broken. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. And part of why the personal growth world is missing something is because a lot of it is focused on fixing something that is broken. Even the shadow work stuff, it's let's fix that shadow because that shadow is bad and dark and you want to like see it and get rid of it, but you want to actually embrace it and integrate it fully because that is part of who you are. And when you push it away and push it away or try to avoid it or work really hard, you can start to get resentful. And also you're pushing away a part of you that needs to be heard and felt and experienced. And it is in that somatic body experience where it can shift for you. I don't even like using the word healing because healing would imply that you're broken. I promise you are not broken. And you can use whatever semantics make you feel good. That's totally fine. I just prefer, because I want to help you by holding up the mirror for you to see that you are absolutely not broken. You never were and you never will be. You are perfect exactly the way that you are. So, but it is in the seeing of this, and it is seeing this. You can do this through various experiments. Being in nature is a really good opportunity. Just get your feet grounded and start to really feel your body from the inside out. So many times, many of us live or have lived from the outside in, blaming others, that thing on the outside is causing us to not feel good. And I got myself sick from that. So you'll probably, if you haven't seen some of my other previous videos, I was diagnosed with a really difficult, challenging diagnosis in 2014, and could have killed me. And eventually I got to the point where I saw just the illusion of it, and now I'm quote unquote healed, but there's really, again, there was nothing to heal from. It was just me having to see that, I made up this illusion. And it was more about fixing, more about trying to be perfect for my family, trying to be perfect, business partner, all of these things. It goes on and on and on. So if any of these sound really, anything I'm saying resonates with you, do follow along on the journey. I'm going to be offering some interesting upcoming things, and if you want to be part of the community, I would love to have you there and want to support your greatness, because you are great and it's time to expand. I gave up the I'm playing small game a little while ago, not that long ago, where I just said I'm freaking done. Done being broke, done being playing small. Like, this is my world, this is my game, and I want to create it how I want to create it. So follow along, join the journey, and put a me in the comments if you want to get access to some new things upcoming. And thank you so much for being here. I love you.